the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
And then court, the Financial and Economic Crime Court 2 of the Accra High Court. Penny Kwawe. Yakupon Yadom, Chief Justice, Emma Order, Emma court proceedings, the cross-examination between the third accused, Richie Jakpa, and the state represented by the Attorney General. Over 2-hour cross-examination. It was streamed live on various media platforms thanks to directive from the Chief Justice. And there will be a kwanya Richie Jakpa so good ni huani muase ewo the Accra High Court. Na in fact court to call Setrana court to Shasie. First of all, the Attorney General MIA hunu say Richie Jakpa representing Jakpa Business Limited as the agent no broker did not entitled to 10%. Ekwe actually Jakpa di 28.7%. Now for ono akasa ne company Jakpa Business Limited enso for chiri asage agent fees. Attorney General say sika 2.37 million euro. Ya won kwa between you and Big C. What to me aje more than 50% of the contract sum. Let's kabeng and mo from produce ambulance. Intinya wanwa say yenya those defective vehicles and to me answer the purpose of the ambulance. Cross examination koso bebe wiye no. And the last stroke that broke the camel's back. EPA. Ye letters the late Yemame Sherry Ayitey. Ya no ye Minister for Health. Actually the go ho. Other Big C say sa Mercedes Benz vans no wa packet dia bia gu Ghana ya wo pese or convert the ambulance no omompe one ne man panyini John Dramani Mahama kasa omoso omompe into omunyai the conversion of those Mercedes Benz vehicles into ambulances. Ya Attorney General releasing those letters na penny behe court them ho lawyer Tadio sorry lawyer Dizita Makulu Dr. Abdul Basit Bamba, Richie Jakpa Obia a fan bowling court because of evidence if you one kasa former health minister. Yewra Alex Segbefia and so letters SFC ewo court truma or non so and somewhere worker and for those defective vans nick of minor a car sa deal ya bom enya sam ketwa. Tiebeko nya kwa jinchire modia fasani mami enina.
This was actually a Zoom link that was shared. It only could take 500 people. So you could imagine the frustration when we're trying to get in there and it was already full. You're waiting, hoping that somebody will drop out and then you can get in. And yes, we got it on the Joy News channel, so we all watched it. It was, as you just listened to that excerpt there, pretty tense at moments. What was the AG's main focus today as he wrapped up his cross-examination? So
AG, the Attorney General Godfrey Eboadamin, relied heavily on letters that were written to Big C by the former health minister, Alex Segbefia, and Sherry Ayitey. These letters, according to the Attorney General, sought to suggest that government of Ghana was at the time pulling out of the contract between Big C and GOG. So in one of the letters read by, the Attorney General asked Richie Jakpa to read. Portions of that letter stated that Alex Segbefia had written to Sherry Ayitey had written to Big C, impressing on them to stop converting the sprinter buses into ambulances. That's one of the letters that Attorney General relied on. Richard Jakpa in his response says that the health minister at the time didn't have the power to come through with that letter because the Attorney General at the time had given a legal advice telling MMDAs that you cannot do without seeing through this particular contract, because if you did, you are going to incur some judgment debt to the state. And so all other letters that were written by Alex Segbefia and Sherry Ayitey, according to Richard Jakpa, were irrelevant because the advice or the legal advice as given by the Attorney General at the time supersedes all other letters because he made a categorical statement that failure to go through with this contract would cause Ghana some financial loss, or you would have to pay some judgment debt, and so make sure that you see through with this particular contract, which he referred to as Exhibit V, which was a contract signed between the government of Ghana and Big C.
Let's focus on this issue about the financial loss itself, which is really at the heart of this. And it boils down, listening today, what was happening to were the ambulances that you spent 2.3 million euros on, were they fit for purpose? And that was something that the AG probed quite hard today.
Yes, correct. So this has come up before when Richard Jakwa was cross-examined by lawyer for Casey Lato Forcing. And he made the point that the buses as they were brought into Ghana were not supposed to be used as ambulances. Portions of the contract, the clauses which we read in court, states that government of Ghana will go ahead and clear the Sprinter buses as they were brought in, go ahead and clear the accessories as they were brought in at the port, and then Big C will be notified. Big C will then send experts to Ghana to fix the accessories in the Sprinter buses, train paramedics, and then at that point, the ambulance will be complete. It will then be handed over to the government of Ghana before it is commissioned and used as ambulances. So in responding to that question, Richard Jakwa said that there was no handing over of ambulances to the government of Ghana to begin with. So what was inspected by the former health minister, Ajima Menu, I remember I was part of the team that visited that facility where we inspected those buses, and it was on Top Story, if I recall correctly. So he says they were not in the custody of the government of Ghana at the time. They were supposed to be kept at a safe place under warranty, and that if government of Ghana had used the ambulance, had moved the Sprinter buses, that warranty would have expired and it would have occasioned some cost to government. And so to argue that you shipped in something that was not fit for purpose is a non-starter according to Richard Jakwa, because the Sprinter buses as they were brought in were not supposed to be touched by the government of Ghana. Pack it, we will install the accessories, train your paramedics, and then hand over to you before you can go ahead and use it as ambulances.
And right after the court, which really now becomes the scene for a lot of the claims and counterclaims, even sometimes more explosive than what happens in the court, we had the Deputy Attorney General, Tian Yubua, now address the subject. And for him, they have established the case that the ambulances were vans and not ambulances. Listen to him.
And monies were paid.
So you would have rather government of Ghana incurred the judgment debt that was pending if we had not gone through with this agreement?
What's the guarantee that there was going to be a judgment debt?
It was captured in the AG's advice.
The AG's advice was to the effect that they must go by the dictates of the contract.
Which part of which says that if you don't comply,
the AG's advice, you have no problem with it. It was properly given, but they were advised to go by the dictates of the contract. What were the dictates? Supply ambulances. They do go by that. So I'm not being judgmental, but look at that's it. The contract was about how they were supposed to pay. Did they comply with it? I'm not going to be judgmental. So these are some issues in court that the court definitely make a pronouncement on. So I'm not going to give.
Okay, so in totality of the evidence, that the cross-examination that you have conducted of Mr. Jakpa, how would you rate your case on a scale of 1 to 10, probably?
We have done our side of the matter, and we think what we have done so far is to our satisfaction. We're now going to leave it to the judge. In our addresses, we highlight the salient areas for the judge's consideration.
You tried to question Richard Jakpa's claim of being released honorably the other day. How do you find him as a witness to you, prospectively?
Richard Jakpa is an ex-serviceman. He was in the witness box, just like any other person. He gave his evidence in chief. We cross-examined him. We came out with documents that we had on him. I will end it here.
He said the documents you procured are fraudulent, and the coat of arms is doctored because the wings are broken. So, how do you respond to that?
So if you make an allegation that something is fraudulent, who bears the burden to produce evidence? Jakpa. Maybe he will call the military people and say that this document is fraudulent, but as far as we are concerned, it's a genuine document, authentic document that we procure from the military high command, and we've tendered it.
Thank you very much. So Richard Jakpa is addressing the media. We will just get a bit of Richard Jakpa.
And indeed, you managed to get Richard Jakpa. Now, tell me, we've just had the Deputy Attorney General there give their own assessment of their performance.
Yes.
What was Jakpa's assessment of the cross-examination and his own performance?
Jakpa didn't rate his own performance. He says that lies in the bosom of the trial judge. But to rate the Attorney Generals as a department, Godfrey Adame, Yvonne Atokra, and then Alfred Tuah, he says he will score them 3/10.
Oh, their cross-examination is, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just below the bar. It's below the bar. They were legally incompetent. They lacked below the bar. What I'm trying to tell that they were legally incompetent, very inept at arguing their case. You were in court. You saw that he was bringing documents and he was even confused. He didn't even understand that there is an LC account in a bank, and the LC is established from the account of the bank, from an account of the LC. So there's difference between 15 and over million and 3.9 billion, which was meant for the first 50 tranche, which came from the ministry. And the man was telling the court that that debit and credit balance, which was open and closed, and the charges in the bank, that was the LC. That is completely, it's just pathetic. And you are there on how to educate them, my brother. That is the account of the LC. But the LC that the Minister of Finance signed was 3.95 million euros. Understand my point? That is 1/4 of the money that was in the open balance. That is over 50 million euros. So the real LC was a 3.95 million euros, which at the back of the page, you have the condition precedent. But on the opening balance, there's no condition precedent because it was just the Ghana International Bank opening the LC account for all the 15 million euros for the 200. And out of it, they removed the 50 cost of the ambulances for the next LC of 3.9. And this Attorney General, he cannot decipher. He can't even interpret common LC documents. And I on the audio that I released, you realize I educated on the LC. And I was expecting that today he would have come well informed, even get consultants to school him proper. But he still came there and came and repeated the same ignorance. And I have to point it out to him again.
From where?
If there's a scale
of 1 to 10.
1 to 10, I'll give the Attorney General 3.
3.
Yeah, 3/10.
Out of 10.
3 out of 10. That will be 3. No. I'll give him 3 out of 10.
Well, Latif, so that's his assessment of the AG's performance.
Correct.
There. You got an exclusive interview with him after he addressed the media there, and he raised further issues.
Yeah, I raised issues about how he's been treated by the court and the trial judge. We could take a listen.
You know why I'm saying it can't be below the belt? Because nations have disappeared on this earth because they couldn't defend their liberty. Majority of the conflict and wars in this world is because of liberty. Even the independence of Ghana was fought and people died because we were fighting for our liberty. So liberty is at the core of human existence. So when you attack an innocent person's liberty and you want to take it away from him and jail him unjustly, there's nothing that is below the belt. Okay. All cards are on the table.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jakpa.
So that's Richard Jakpa. He is the third accused in the ongoing ambulance procurement trial.
So again, that there is Richard Jakpa, and we understand that he believes he's been treated unfairly, and he has also filed some process with the Chief Justice, from what he says.
Yeah,
to you all.
no. So it's something is already written to the Chief Justice and copied the trial judge herself about how he's been treated by the court, and the judge, he believes he's not been treated fairly by the trial judge, and he believes that from how he's gone back and forth and with some of the interventions by the trial judge, even when he's been cross-examined by the Attorney General, representative, including Tiayeboa, Yvonne Atokra, and Godfrey Adame, he believes that the judge has treated him like a convict even before the final determination of the case is made.
Let's talk about the NDC. They were in court today,
Yeah.
were they not? And as we know, Parliament almost doesn't work until this case is over. Today, you also spoke to the National Communications Officer of the NDC, who was in court, also addressing, giving you his perspective from the point of view of the party.
Yeah. So Sami Nsem-Pii, he expresses surprise about some of the questions put to Richard Jakpa by the Attorney General. He thinks as an Attorney General, he should have known better and prepared better before coming to the court to put such questions to Richard Jakpa.
Credit, suggesting that letters of credit constitute advance payment. And Jakpa educated him that every letter of credit contains condition precedents. One of it is the point of negotiation. And the point of negotiation for this one was a Jebel Ali port in Dubai. So you can't say that if you see a provision in the contract that says that payment shall only be made on site of goods, then it means that on site of goods means when you see the goods at Tema Port. When as an Attorney General, you are supposed to read these simple things and know that the negotiation point is a Jebel Ali port in Dubai. So once it is shipped from there and Big C receives the bill of lading documentations, and that is it, they have met the condition precedents. Another ignorance of the Attorney General.
Most of the times I may be in New York, or I've been to many states in the US, including Miami, a couple of times. The video they are circulating is a video from one of my past trips to Miami with my wife. I believe in the immediate aftermath of my marriage. What about that? Now, how that can be an issue for a group of people, no, shows you how frustrated they are and how fixated they are with some agency. Come here, me tie. Me nye dwuma ma aban into America. Me hwe obi a taxes so. Na ma worry na me ne me yire to kwan for a break. What's about that metro na say? How is that your issue? How is that your issue? Are you the one who pay me? Me we see customer one. And you're talking about
42,000.
Na me ma fa party ska ko mo na be kasa ma party na. NDC you will see Kebia. People don't know. When you see any national officer of the party, respect him. I'm telling you, when we say we are national officers, there is no national officer of the party. I am nobody. We all raise money. At least I can speak for myself. Since I served in this role from 2018 till now, 99% of the things we do, we raise money from people. We struggle on a daily basis to raise money to do that. One day I offer $40-something thousand. But you know what? There are certain things that you are allowed to pass because of, you know, and the fact that we can't have time for certain things. And some of the people who are saying these things, really, they don't even know you. MPP's Pusojabia. I'm a born into Eduma cry a man.